Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Israel-Hamas set for crucial Gaza peace talks in Egypt. US President Trump urges both sides to move fast, optimistic about first phase completing this week. Differences persist in the legislative corridors as shutdown continues in the US. White House warns of imminent layoffs even as Democrats stick to their demands of healthcare subsidies. France unveils new government amid political deadlock. Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu assembles cabinet amid intense protest over his proposed public spending cuts. 49 killed and hundreds evacuated after Nepal hit by heavy rain and flood. Alert issued for Indian state of Bihar. Also, rescue and relief operation underway in landslide hit Darjeeling. And in Women's World Cup 2025, India thumped Pakistan by 88 runs. Kranti Gore heroics help women in blue register back-to-back wins. Israel and Hamas will hold indirect negotiations in Egypt on Monday amid hopes for a possible agreement on ending the Gaza conflict based on Donald Trump's ceasefire plan. Trump has promoted a 20-point plan aimed at ending the fighting in Gaza, securing the release of remaining hostages and defining the territory's future. Israel and Hamas have agreed to parts of the plan. Hamas on Friday accepted the hostage release and several other elements, but sidestepped contentious points, including call for its disarmament, which it has long rejected. Trump welcomed Hamas's response, saying he believes Hamas had shown it was ready for a lasting peace. He told Israel to stop bombing Gaza immediately, but its attacks on the enclave have continued. And speaking to the reporters ahead of the talks, President Trump sounded on optimistic note, saying that he and a lot of countries surrounding Israel had some very good meetings with Hamas.
Yeah, we did it very quickly. We had some very good meetings. The countries of the world, a lot of the countries surrounding Israel, frankly, Muslim, Arab, and many others have had great meetings with Hamas, and it looks like it's working. So we'll wait for a little while, see how it all turns out.
Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the responsibility lies with Hamas to fully accept the peace plan.
Well, we accepted the deal, as did all the world. It was President Trump's plan. Hamas says that it accepted the deal. Now the onus is on Hamas. This plan consists of two parts. The first part is releasing all the hostages. Israel makes a tactical withdrawal, stays in Gaza. And then the second part is meant to demilitarize Gaza and disarm Hamas. That will be negotiated. Of course, I can't tell you if Hamas will agree to it. I think that it's possible. I hope it'll happen, but I can't guarantee that it'll happen. And so if it doesn't happen, what President Trump has said is that he will back Israel completely in acting forcefully against Hamas. Well, let's hope that, that we can finish it the easy way and not the hard way.
Meanwhile, a day before the conflict's second anniversary, Israelis gathered at the Hostages Square in Tel Aviv on Sunday, praying for the return of the hostages. Many in the crowd sat in silence, while others wept or joined chants led from a makeshift stage. On October 7, 2023, Hamas attack on Israel triggered the conflict in Gaza. Hamas killed 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and about 251 were taken as hostage. Trump administration officials issued a warning on Sunday that Americans will increasingly feel the pain of an ongoing U.S. government shutdown. Most federal operations remain shuttered as no tangible signs of negotiations have emerged between U.S. congressional leaders since President Trump met them last week. Democrats are refusing to give in over the demands for continued government health care subsidies in the budget. White House has warned that plans are being finalized for the firing of thousands of federal workers. Shutdowns are a periodic feature of a gridlocked Washington when the two parties cannot agree on budget priorities. But this time, the stakes are higher. U.S. President Trump has hinted that government already started to permanently fire, not merely furlough, government employees. Trump responded to a question on federal workers' cutoff, saying that the things are taking place right now.
Taking place right now, and it's all because of the Democrats. The Democrats are causing the loss of a lot of jobs with their, it's a shutdown. It's their shutdown, not our shutdown, it's their shutdown.
On Monday, the Senate is due to vote for a fifth time on the stopgap funding bill that has already passed the Republican-controlled House of Representatives and on a Democratic alternative. Neither measure is expected to receive the 60 votes needed to advance. With a 53-47 seat majority and one Republican opposed to the House funding bill, Republican leaders need at least 8 Democrats to support the measure, but have seen only 3 cross the aisle so far. And tensions are running high in Chicago and Portland as President Trump pushes forward with controversial plans to federalize National Guard troops, moves that Democratic governors call a violation of state authority.
Chicago is on edge as 300 Illinois National Guards prepare to take to the streets after President Donald Trump ordered troops to America's third largest city. Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker remains defiant and bitterly opposed to the act. He calls the federal move un-American and an attack on the state's autonomy. Trump has branded Chicago a war zone as a justification for deploying soldiers. In Oregon, the standoff has deepened. A federal judge has temporarily blocked a similar order, ruling that protests in Portland do not meet the constitutional standard for a rebellion. But that hasn't put a lid to the controversy. California Governor Gavin Newsom confirmed that 300 Guard members from his state have already been sent north to Oregon, raising new legal and jurisdictional questions. The administration claims federal intervention is warranted by violent unrest, yet crime in these cities is reportedly falling. Meanwhile, violence erupted in Chicago. Border Patrol agents shot a woman after a vehicle confrontation, marking a dramatic flashpoint as tempers boil over. With lawsuits piling up and protests planned through the week, both sides appear to have prepared for a long haul, setting the stage for a prolonged and politically charged showdown. Bureau Report, DD India.
French President Emmanuel Macron's office on Sunday unveiled a new cabinet to be led by Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu, whose most pressing and most perilous task will be to win support for a 2026 budget in a fragmented and fractious parliament. Roland Lescure, a close ally of President Emmanuel Macron, has been named finance minister, while former finance chief Bruno Le Maire takes over the defense portfolio. Key figures such as Jean-Noël Barrot at Foreign Affairs, Bruno Retailleau at the Interior Ministry and Gérald Darmanin at the Justice have retained their roles. PM Lecornu has sought to win over the socialists by proposing a wealth tax, though he exempted business owners' assets to safeguard jobs and businesses. He also dismissed the use of special constitutional measures to push the budget through without a parliamentary vote. Budget negotiations have become increasingly tense, requiring careful compromises among 3 ideologically divided blocs in a fragmented parliament. Now, the Nobel Prize will be announced from today onwards and conclude on October 13 with research into hormones that regulate appetite seen leading the race for the Nobel Prize in Medicine, the first in this year's season to be awarded today. Nobel Prize in Physiology is also expected today.
It's that time of the year. When the world witnesses a moment of profound scientific gravity, it's time for the announcement of the prestigious award, which fundamentally alters human health. It is time for the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. The award celebrates discoveries that have brought the greatest benefit to humankind, honoring the pioneers who unlocked the secrets of life and disease. The said interests shall be divided into 5 equal parts, which shall be appointed as follows. 1 part to the person who shall have made the most important discovery with the domain of physiology or medicine. This is an excerpt from the will of Alfred Bernard Nobel, the Swedish inventor and industrialist who created dynamite. Shocked by how his invention was used for destruction, Nobel dedicated his immense fortune to recognize those who serve humanity. On November 27, 1895, Alfred Nobel signed his last will, in which he granted the largest portion of his estate to a series of 5 categories of prizes. Physiology or medicine was the 3rd prize area Nobel mentioned in his will. The other 4 fields were physics, chemistry, literature, and calmness. Nobel's will specifically stipulated the prize should go to the person who has made the most important discovery with the domain of physiology or medicine. Nominations are accepted from scientists globally, and a rigorous year-long process decides the winner. The criterion to finalize the winner is the discovery's proven long-term impact on medicine, not just promising research, but a paradigm shift that changes treatment and understanding worldwide. The Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine is awarded by the Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institute at Stockholm, Sweden. The prize money is 11 billion Swedish crowns, which is $1.2 million between 1901 and 2024. The Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine has been awarded 115 times to 229 Nobel laureates. Some famous winners of this prestigious honor include Sir Alexander Fleming for the discovery of penicillin, a finding that launched the age of antibiotics and saved millions of lives, and James Watson, Francis Crick, and Maurice Wilkins for revealing the helix structure of DNA, unlocking the entire field of molecular biology. Last year, the award was given jointly to Victor Ambros and Gary Ruvkun for their groundbreaking discovery of microRNA and its role in post-transcriptional gene regulation. On October 6, 2025, the 2025 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine will be announced, and the world will take note of another discovery, the quiet dedication that leads to a breakthrough capable of changing the world forever. The Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine isn't just an award, it's a recognition of the greatest benefit to mankind.
Let's now take a look at other stories making news around the world. Vietnam's ancient city of Hue is celebrating the Mid-Autumn Festival with royal grandeur at the Imperial Citadel, offering visitors a glimpse of traditional festivities. The event features lantern parades, lion dances, folk games, and music and dance performances on October 6 and 7. Across Vietnam, cities are glowing with lanterns, mooncake markets, and family festivities marking the season. Near Mount Everest, a sudden blizzard left hundreds of hikers stranded as heavy snow blanketed the region on October 4 and 5. Eyewitness footage showed trekkers wading through deep snow with low visibility. By Sunday, rescuers had guided around 350 hikers to safety in the township of Wu Dang, while contact was established with more than 200 others still trapped amid the unusually severe Himalayan weather. Vietnam's Cam Than village near the heritage town of Hoi An has been named among the world's 50 most beautiful villages by Forbes. This marks the first time a Vietnamese eco-village has received such global recognition. Surrounded by lush mangroves and calm waterways, Cam Than connects river mouths to the sea, showcasing Vietnam's rich coastal heritage and eco-friendly tourism potential. Just days after England's Women's Rugby World Cup victory, star player Ellie Kildan was honoured with her very own Barbie doll by a metal toy company. The special edition celebrates female athletes and aims to inspire young girls in sports. Rugby players from the US, New Zealand and France were also featured with dolls made in their likeness. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Indian Navy commissioned second anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft vessel Androt, boosting indigenous maritime capabilities. Curtains down on World Para-Athletics Championships as host India finishes with its best performance so far. Hong Kong's 140-year-old fire dragon dance lights up streets ahead of Mid-Autumn Festival.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. India and the European Union will hold the 14th round of Free Trade Agreement or FTA negotiations from Monday in Brussels. India's expanding economic strength and its Make in India initiative are drawing greater interest from European companies which view the country as a key partner for growth, jobs and investment. According to a new Federation of European Business in India survey, already over 6,000 European companies operate in India, creating over 3 million jobs. These firms not only create jobs, invest, manufacture and innovate in India, but in short, they make in India. The European Union remains India's largest trading partner, with goods trade reaching Euro 120 billion, ahead of both the United States and China. EU President Ursula von der Leyen and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have already set an objective to conclude the deal by the end of 2025. Now, the Indian Navy today commissioned INS Androt, the second anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft, at a ceremony at the Naval Dockyard in Visakhapatnam. The commissioning of Androt marks yet another milestone in Indian Navy's steady stride towards capability enhancement and indigenization. Built by Garden Reach shipbuilders and engineers at Kolkata, Androt is a testimony to India's growing maritime self-reliance with over 80% indigenous content. The commissioning of Androt significantly bolsters the Navy's ASW capabilities, especially in countering threats in littoral waters. Together, these inductions in recent months, Arnala, Nistar, Udaygiri, Nilgiri and now Androt, reflect the Navy's balanced growth across the spectrum of maritime operations, embodying the spirit of Atmanirbharta or self-reliance. In view of recent concerns relating to the quality and administration of cough syrups, India's Health Ministry convened a high-level meeting with states' UTs on quality and rational use of cough syrups. The Union Health Secretary emphasized strict compliance with the revised schedule by all drug manufacturers, and thorough exercise of identification of non-compliant units must be undertaken and strict action be taken against them. The government exhorted states to ensure rational use of cough syrups, particularly among children, as most coughs are self-limiting and do not require pharmacological treatment. The meeting follows recent reports of child deaths in Chhindwara, Madhya Pradesh, allegedly linked to contaminated cough syrups. A devastating fire broke out at the trauma ICU of Jaipur Savai Man Singh Hospital, leaving 7 patients dead and 5 in critical condition. Authorities suspect a short circuit. The investigation is ongoing. The blaze started on the 2nd floor of the trauma ICU, reportedly due to a suspected short circuit. The fire spread rapidly, releasing toxic gases that affected patients, most of whom were in coma. Hospital staff quickly evacuated patients to safer areas, but 6 of them lost their lives. The hospital is providing critical care to the injured. Prime Minister Modi has expressed grief over the loss of lives. On social media X, he said, and I quote him here, The loss of lives due to a fire tragedy at a hospital in Jaipur, Rajasthan is deeply saddening. Condolences to those who have lost their loved ones. May the injured recover soon." Unquote. Weather-related updates now. First up from Nepal, where heavy rains triggered landslides and flash floods blocking roads, washing away bridges and killing at least 49 people, including 38 deaths alone in Ilam district of East Nepal. Armed police force were officials fear the number of casualties may rise as rescue operations continue. Torrential downpours have lashed Nepal since Friday, leaving rivers in spate and many areas in Himalayan nation inundated. Government of Nepal has declared a public holiday on October 5 and 6. At least 5 people are missing, while many others are urged to take shelter in safe places. Security personnel were deployed to assist rescue efforts with helicopters and motorboats. Rivers in the capital Kathmandu have also swelled, inundating settlements along their banks. Prime Minister Sushila Karki said government agencies were fully prepared for rescue and relief. Weather officials said rains were likely to lash the Himalayan nation until Monday. And life in India's West Bengal's Darjeeling and Dwars has become tough after heavy rain on Saturday night. So far, 18 people have lost lives in rain-related incidents. Several locals and hundreds of tourists are trapped in these areas. Hill roads in Mirik were closed after a landslide. The NDRF is engaged in rescue operations. In southern West Bengal, several districts are waterlogged because of heavy rainfall in the neighbouring state of Jharkhand. The Damodar Valley Corporation was forced to release thousands of cusecs of water from its reservoirs. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee claims it as a conspiracy, and her party workers protested at a few places before the corporation's offices. Let's now take a look at other stories making news today. The Marwar Festival in Jodhpur celebrates Rajasthan's rich art and culture. The highlight was the BSF camel contingent marching from Ghantaghar to Umaid Stadium. At the stadium, camels performed stunts and displayed training from BSF STC Jodhpur. Known for saluting on Rajpath, the contingent captivates audiences with precision and skill. The festival encourages youth participation to preserve and promote Rajasthani traditions. Vadodara hosted the 25th annual Divyang Garbha Mahotsav, a special event for differently abled participants. Organized to promote inclusion and joy, the festival draws large crowds every year. Organizers expressed hope for greater awareness and support for differently abled people. Sports now. India beat Pakistan in the ICC Women's World Cup in Colombo on Sunday to maintain perfect record at 12-0 despite a glitchy performance in all 3 departments. Batting first on a slow pitch, India found momentum hard to come by as several batters struggled to convert starts into meaningful contributions. Openers Pratika Rawal and Smriti Mandhana provided a steady start, while Harleen Deol played a patient 46. Jemima Rodriguez and Richa Ghosh's cameo at the end gave India a total of 247. Chasing 248, Pakistan's innings quickly fell apart. A top-order collapse left them reeling at 26 for 3. Syed Ramin stood out with a valiant 106 ball 81, but the rest of the lineup failed to capitalize. India's Kranti along with Deepti Sharma shared 6 wickets between them to bundle out Pakistan for 159. And the 12th edition of World Para Athletics Championships concluded in New Delhi's Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium on Sunday. For 9 days, the capital witnessed record-breaking performances, emotional victories and a true celebration of human spirit. India, the proud host, showcased not just world-class organization but also its growing sporting might. From accessibility to infrastructure, every detail reflected India's readiness to host major global events. This was India's biggest ever contingent and it delivered the nation's best performance in history. Indian para-athletes made the nation proud, finishing 10th overall with a record 22 medals, including 6 gold, 9 silver and 7 bronze medals. And the century-old Fire Dragon Dance of Hong Kong came alive once again on Sunday, dazzling the city ahead of the Mid-Autumn Festival. Thousands of spectators packed the narrow streets to witness the 140-year-old tradition, where the main attraction was the Fire Dragon dance featuring burning incense sticks. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.